Hi guys, Scott here from Outlaw Garage. Today is a big day. We're here with an RWB. Take a look at this. So here we go, RWB day. We've got a 993. This has been RWB'd to the hill. This looks brilliant. This is Chris's car. Hi Chris.
G'day guys.
So, what's the story about this? Because RWB can be a little bit hit and miss. Marmite, I think we would say, or Vegemite, as we're here, Vegemite. However, this looks epic.
Thank you. Look, I mean, I haven't had too many negative comments about it. I tend to be one of those people that, you know, you build a car, it's yours, you do what you want to it. Keep your comments to yourself. If you really want to insult another person, you know, that's your opinion. They're not building a car for you, they're building it for themselves. So yeah. That's what this has been about. You know, it's been called an Instagram RWB rather than a real racing RWB, and I would tend to agree with that. It is a bit more about street rather than track, for sure. But you know, I don't drive on the track. I drive on the street, and I enjoyed my car. So. And
I got to say, you drive this a lot.
I drive it everywhere. I picked up shopping in it yesterday. I had one kid come up to me who was a trolley pusher. He's like, mate, I don't get cars like this in a shopping centre too often. I said, no, because you guys keep running trolleys into it.
And you've driven from Geelong today.
Yep.
So that was an hour and a bit drive.
I was down at Apollo Bay a couple of weeks ago. Got spotted down there. Went on, you know, all the socials. I've driven it back from Adelaide. It was built in South Australia.
Yeah.
I've driven it back from there. Before it was RWB'd, I drove it over to Adelaide and back for a couple of days just to show my family. But yeah, it's, you know, it's here to be enjoyed.
Yeah, not a track car. However, I talk about kilometres on a car like this, like you are banging them on.
Oh yeah. You know, I'm nearly 10,000 Ks for the year since it's been done, and that's with a fair bit of time in the shop as well.
And COVID, yeah. You know, you've been locked down half the year and you've still banged on 10,000.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, I was pretty lucky being regional rather than being up in Melbourne, but at the same time, I still got my warning for driving the car when I wasn't supposed to be driving it, when we were supposed to be staying at home. It's my relaxation. You know, if you're having a stressful time, jump in the car, go for a quick cruise. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was the only car on the road because everyone else was staying at home doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I'm not someone who does 100 kilometres an hour in a 60 zone. You know, I keep fairly respectful to the speed limits a lot of the time because I am just cruising the car. It's not going that hard, and you know, $1,000 a tyre doesn't help me either.
No,
I don't really want to go through those two.
Look at this thing. So, history behind the car. So, how'd you find it, and then what made you think I'm going to RWB it?
RWB's been in the back of my mind for quite a while, purely because, I mean, looking at the car, the way that it is, I love Porsches because Porsches are, from day dot, they've pretty much got it right. Yeah, they haven't changed the shape too much. They've improved it here and there, as you do with technology, as it all improves. But realistically, I knew I wanted a little bit more width on the car. I knew I wanted a nice set of shoes for the car, so got the rotiforms put on there.
They're really nice.
Yeah, you know, and three and a half months to get them. A little bit of a twist on the old teledial style.
Yep.
So it's a bit of an homage to that. But Rotiform had those in that colour on their website, and I just went, yep, that's it for me. That's done.
Yeah.
So when I picked up the car, it was another guy's project. The original owner had a bit of an off-road excursion on it. He sold it to the person that I purchased it from, so technically I'm the third owner. Second one on the books because the other owner never had it on the street. But a little bit of, you know, cosmetic damage on the front. The front bar needed to be replaced. The front guards were fine. So I got all that fixed, and then brought it back down here. I'd already been talking to Chern from RWB Australia about the process, going through everything, how much it was going to cost, what the time frames were, what I needed
and lovely
to do.
Lad. Really knows what he's talking about.
Super helpful. Any time that Chern calls and needs help, that, you know, I would reciprocate as much because he has been fantastic through the process for me. And generally everyone in the RWB world is. I haven't met anybody in the RWB world, you know, we're all on the same app together and we all have a chat
Because that is what
together.
they say about it, isn't it? That it's very much a community.
It's family, like
Yeah.
100%. I had guys reaching out from all over the world. I reached out to guys from all over the world. There's Kai Kishi, the RWB from Florida.
Yeah.
When I saw that online on YouTube, I just fell in love. And you know, that car is built more than what this one is. It's got a bigger GT championship wing on the back. It's a beautiful color. I love that color, but I just wanted this white sort of standard when it comes to RWBs. It's not really flamboyant. I don't have a GT wing for it.
No, you'd almost say it's a bit urban street.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, just like myself, you know.
I don't know if I'm just making that up.
No, I mean,
but there's definitely
it's a streeter. It's
Yeah.
not a street fighter.
Yeah.
You know, everywhere you go, if you don't want attention, do not do an RWB because everybody loves it. You can't fill up the car without having a chat about it.
yeah.
You can't wash the car without having a chat about it, and that's fine. That's what it's about. But you know, all the young guys are like, you know, spin your tires. Like, that is not what this car is about.
Yeah.
You know, this car is about an achievement, really. Quite a few years, I've always wanted to have a Porsche like this. The 993 was the car when I was in high school. The last of the air-cooled. I love that sound that it's got.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot about this car that I still would like to change. It is an automatic, but it's a cruiser. Once again, I don't have the extra $50,000 to change it over to a manual gearbox.
Yep.
The blue interior, I planned on changing that to black. Then when I got the car, had it resprayed, the body kit was all there, I looked at the interior and I just fell in love with that navy blue. It is different. And then luckily I was, this is the only full RWB built outside of Japan in 2020. So I am aware of how lucky I am with that. There's a lot of guys who had their cars ready to go. They were a month away from getting the car built, and then COVID hits.
Yeah, because we were asking about it earlier. Of course, trying to get out of Japan at the moment appears to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Never mind trying to get into Australia or trying to get into anywhere else.
100%.
Getting out of Japan seems to be a bit of a problem. So.
Yeah,
if
look,
he's
I'm
making
really
30,
thankful with
40,
it.
50 cars a year, that's going to diminish over this period of time unless I guess people might be shipping their cars over to Japan. I don't know.
I know that there's been people who've been looking into that.
Yeah.
The cost is a bit prohibitive with doing that, obviously. A lot of the guys who build RWBs have got the money to do it, you know, to ship it across there. But a lot about the experience is sitting there, meeting with everybody. I took the car to South Australia to get built because I'm from South Australia originally. It's the first one that was built in South Australia, hopefully not the last, now that I've shown some people the experience. But the amount of guys that I've met from there, just out of that, who have always been lifelong RWB fans, and to get to meet Nakia San's a big thing. Get some signatures on some things. They spent the entire 2 days watching the build, which was massive, you know.
Yeah, took
a day off work.
It is an experience, I guess, to kind of get it done and go through the process, and definitely, like you said, the community and a family associated with them.
Yeah, for sure.
So 993, Rotiform wheels, and then you've airbagged it.
I have, as we've had a bit of fun today.
Well, we've had a little bit of fun with it. You
We
know,
have.
airbags and airlines can be a little bit entertaining, but we might pop the hood and have a quick look at that.
Yeah, we'll have a look.
So here we go. If the purists aren't that keen with an RWB, then just to top it off, it's been airbagged as well. Looks like an airlift kit.
Yeah, it's got AirX struts on it. It's,
Yep.
all installed here in Melbourne, where I'm currently based. All of this is getting done at the moment. It's about 90% of the way there with all the interior. So it's getting blue leather. The car's name is Hanzo.
Okay.
It's been named after a famous Japanese samurai, where he's got a family crest. That family crest is getting replicated on the tank and in all the stitching as well.
Yeah.
It's getting a flat base put in across here to hide your compressor, your airlift management system, the battery. The big thing for me with a lot of these setups with what people do under here, it's not really practical. They, you know, if I needed to change out a fuse, for example, at the back there, the way that theirs is set up, it's a little bit more permanent than what I'm getting.
Yeah,
so
okay.
mine's all going to be able to peel back, all on magnets and everything like that.
Yep.
Getting all done, as I said, it's nearly there. It's going back in 2 weeks' time to get finished off.
That'll be nice to see, because I guess you do these kits, and like we've probably experienced today, it's nice to have it kind of all accessible down here, so you can kind of fiddle with it
100%.
as it's kind of breaking it in, you know.
It's about practicality.
We've had a
lot
of those problems with the 356 recently, as well.
Exactly.
But
there's no point in it being 100% of a show car if you're actually going to drive the thing.
Yeah.
And that's been big for me, is to just make sure that it is practical.
And like we said, you're probably going to bang on 300 kilometres today.
Yeah, comfortably.
Yeah,
yeah.
easy,
Yeah.
easy.
I'm up already around about 150 already, so
Yeah.
yeah.
No, but it's a nice kit, and we will get a couple of shots of it going up and down. But I think it really suits the car, and especially like we said, that urban street kind of twist to the car. I think it really suits it really well.
Yeah, and look, it's not a low rider. I'm not driving along, lifting the car up and down, and being a attention-seeking car.
Yeah.
It's purely to get in and out of driveways comfortably. When you park it up, you can stance it up if you want to. I can make it a hell of a lot lower if I lower down the struts as well. But ultimately, it's not going to be practical.
Yeah, because I've got to say, like the front lip is low.
Yeah.
And these car parks here in Melbourne, you know, it's nearly a vertical drop sometimes as you're driving into it.
And as you can see here, it's supposed to say secondent Wallan in there, but that's been scraped off a little bit. But the benefits of the way in the
so the air ride kit would be handy to have for those kind of things.
But then also with what Nakia San has calculated here, you know, that still gets a fair distance, and this is down now.
Yep.
Still gets a fair bit of travel underneath there. I can still jack it up a lot more, get over in and out of driveways.
Yeah, because it does go high.
It does.
Like, this isn't about I've stanced my car and I've slammed it and it won't go up. Like,
which is fine.
Yeah.
But once again, if I'm going to use this, like I've driven along the Great Ocean Road with it, I've driven back forward from Adelaide with it. You know, the roads in South Australia sometimes are not fantastic.
Yeah, and if anybody is listening from the roads department around here, if you'd like to fill a couple of potholes, that would be greatly appreciated.
Absolutely. Everyone with a lowered car appreciates that for sure. But this is also something that not a lot of people are aware of.
Signed
underneath there, and he's also signed on the dash as well.
Yeah, you see the common ones where it's signed on the dash, but then on there it's nice as well.
Yeah. So once it's all finished up, I can have that open. People can see it. I'm not really that.
Yeah, there's definitely a community, family, and a process about it. And I've got to say, the ones that we've seen here in Melbourne have been fantastic. And this looks awesome. So here we go, blue interior. It is an automatic, but we've seen a fair few of those here in Melbourne. Here's the signature on the dash. There are a few flies here, but that is Australia. I do like the blue. Definitely like the blue. The blue's a nice touch.
Yeah, I think so. Just the point of difference as well, and honestly I think it's coming back into trend. I think you're probably going to see a few more blue leathered cars around the place, because it is that point of difference. And
yeah, like a standard black interior and, you know, a silver, black, white or red 911 is what you normally see.
Yeah,
but I'm always a big fan of the colours, which are a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean,
they are unique.
I'm red enough, I don't need a burgundy interior. So the blues, yeah, definitely fits.
Yeah. So engine stock,
yeah. Gave it a bit of a refresh.
Yeah,
but nothing too hard. You know, just replaced a lot of the seals and the gaskets, those sorts of things, because it was sitting for 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's why it's got 100,000 k's on the clock rather than 200,000 k's, as most of them have got. But you know, I've got a few little bits and bobs to put into there, but once again, I'm not.
But it's a project over a period of time, isn't it? So if you want to, you can do.
If I'd taken my time with doing the engine, with, you know, trimming out the trunk and doing everything I wanted to do, it wouldn't be RWB'd at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I would have missed the boat.
Yeah,
COVID
no,
would have hit. So, not that I could tell COVID was coming, but you know, when I picked up Chern and Nakia's helper from the airport, they were one of the last planes in. So once he did his magic on my car, came over and finished up Chern's car, he was back on a plane, and I reckon it was one of the last ones out. So yeah, forever grateful with timing and everything else that's happened with it. And you know, this is the result, so you can't really be too upset with that.
No, not at all. Looks fantastic. So I think we'll take a quick look at the air ride.
Yeah.
She is high when she gets up, and
absolutely,
it'll be good to see. So that's slammed. High, doesn't it? Look at that. Yeah, almost a singer safari.
I wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
That is brilliant. Really, really suits the car. We're talking about track.
Yeah.
So this gets a shakedown test.
Yeah. Every time that RWB gets built, Nakia San takes it for a drive just to make sure that the suspension setup's fine. He's happy with how everything is going. Luckily, I was able to build this car at the Bend Motorsport Park. Gem Motorsport, which is on the side of the car there, they're located at the track.
Yeah.
Those guys were fantastic, gave us a lot of space and put in a lot of effort as well.
Hell of a nice place to do it.
Absolutely. So at the end, they managed to get us onto the track, which was fantastic. When we're on the track, we drive out, there's a drone up in the air, there's guys with a gimbal in the back of the ute. Now, when Nakia San drove up to the car, he got that close that all you could see was white, because he was about an inch off the front of this car. And, you know, I'm in the passenger seat, there's raw footage of me in the passenger seat. I'm sure I'm like leaning up, trying to look over the edge to make sure that he's not going to... And Nakia San's like, if he had a smoke in his mouth, would have been perfect, because he just did not care. He knew exactly where every single inch of the car was on the track. Speeding back and forward, going up and down. Luff Club from South Australia as well, some of the boys with their aircooled. They were out on the track with us, they got to experience it as well. And Jen brought out one of the Wolf racing cars as well on the track. So all on YouTube, you can see it all with the build.
Yeah, we'll try and put a link in the description below so people can see that.
For sure, yeah. So, like, I mean, even just being in the passenger seat with Nakia San in a race car, not very many people have had that opportunity on a track, even though we're only doing 40 k's an hour for most of it. Yeah, just the control, and he was just super happy with it, testing everything. That is a fair size rat. Yeah.
That is a fair size rat.
That is a fair size rat. Thought it was a bird.
It is down there. It looked like a small dog.
Absolutely. Yeah, so, like, you know, experiences like that you can't buy, or technically you can. But, you know, I'll always remember that. A lot of the people who are at the track will remember that, and video footage, luckily, is all there, so.
Epic.
Yeah.
Well, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Massive thanks to Chris for bringing his RWB down here. We haven't been eaten by any rats, which is a positive, because there are some monsters down here. The car's absolutely fantastic. And I guess the big question is, should we RWB our 911 SC Targ? Comments below. Please subscribe. We'll see you later.